Hi, this is Tina VanDerwerker with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. I am here with Jason Getman, CPA. Hi, Jason. How are you?
Good. Yourself, Tina?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you so much for meeting with me. So tell me a little bit about your business.
So my business is I started a virtual CPA practice in the fall of 2020. Um, as what a lot of people had extra time on their hands from being home, I felt this was a great time that if I was going to launch the business, would be ideal. So I did what a lot of entrepreneurs did and started a side hustle, quote unquote, to go ahead and see what I could do with it and earn some extra money on the side.
Yeah. So do you meet people in person or is it just virtual?
Uh, at the start, it was always virtual. Now that it's not as prolific, I have met a number of clients in person, but primarily I'm going to do everything virtually.
Perfect. All right. So what have you seen as far as the clients that you've worked with their finances, with the way the income and the inflation and everything's kind of changed the layout of the market, if you will? What kind of changes have you seen with your clients and what should they be thinking about financially?
The big thing that I'm seeing right now with a lot of my clients is shrinking margins. A couple of contractor clients that I have seen lumber costs skyrocket, which then goes ahead and pinches their money. Um,
Sure.
and some of them feel like they can't raise their prices in response, so they end up working more for less.
Yeah.
So I friendly remind them, like, in periods of inflation like this, you have to raise your prices just like everyone else does, or else you're working for less than minimum wage most times.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I understand it's hard because they want to give the quality and they want to give the time. They don't want to gouge their clients everywhere else that everyone else is gouging them. So, but everyone else is doing it. So, in order to stay solvent as a business, you want to keep up. So, yeah, but
And,
that's a tough decision.
and in addition, I mean, with the gas price inflation, a lot of clients drive to and from.
Sure.
Thankfully, they're going to get a little bit of a tax break from the IRS because they raised the mileage rates.
Yeah.
But that doesn't that's down the road. That's after tax season has started before they can start seeing that relief. Right now, with
Sure.
prices higher, they're out of money in the meantime.
Right. Right. Yeah, because they're paying for the gas right now. They're they're not seeing that
Yeah, they
credit.
can't defer that cost till later on. It's like, oh, I'll pay for gas later on. They got to pay for it now.
Yeah, they don't really like to do that. There's no, I mean, you could put it on a credit card, but
Yeah, it's a slippery
that's a
slope.
month out.
Yeah.
Right. So kind of how do you work with the businesses to make sure that they are able to grow if that's what they so choose to do?
So it starts with having a look at where they are during the year in terms of their books, what they've charged, what their margins are, and having a pretty frank conversation with them, like with my contractors that I've worked with, um, you know, talking with them is like, what are your margins, making sure they know, and say, what is the current cost of the materials, and making
Mhm.
sure that they don't shortchange themselves, and that if they do get any objections from clients, like, it's out of my control what the price of lumber is, uh,
Right.
and I don't want to sacrifice the quality of the work. So it kind of leaves it up to the consumers to figure out what do they want to do.
Right. And I think it's probably leveled out some, but when they were like maybe they would have quoted a job, let's say in May, and then in June or July, the prices went up before maybe they started. And so now it's like, I already gave them this price, but now, the price of the materials went up. So, kind of how do I manage that?
Yeah, the big thing I found is managing client expectations, even with my own clients, but also giving them the same tools to use with their clients. Is that
Right.
we all can agree that when prices go up, it's never a fun thing, um, but it's just the cost of doing business. So
Sure.
we're hoping that they'll see it. We'll see the costs flatten, maybe even dip a little,
Yeah.
but really just communicating with the clients like, hey, listen, this is show the receipt. This is what it cost me to go ahead and buy the
Yeah.
materials. You can't
Yeah.
even argue with that once you have the receipt.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I mean, again, everything has gone up, food and gas and electricity, everything. So it wouldn't be unreasonable to think that that would have to go up as well. So, if they should want to still need the work done or whatever, they should be willing to pay or understand why they have to pay a little bit more.
I
So,
agree.
yeah. What should people be doing now? It's mid-September-ish. Like what should they be doing now in preparation for tax season?
So business owners, entrepreneurs, anyone who is in business really should be working with their tax professional and bookkeepers to go ahead and get their books in order to see where they stand. A lot of tax season apprehension comes around. I don't know what I owe or I'm getting back, and they wait until the last minute to figure out, okay, here's what I owe or here's what I get back. By working with someone like myself, we can take a lot of the guesswork out of it. We can go ahead and figure out potentially in like November or December whether you owe or get back money, and then that
Yeah,
makes your tax season a lot easier. And then you know what
sure.
to prepare for. If you do owe, now you have 3 months to come up with that. Or if you're getting a refund, then you get that nice relief of, okay, great, I don't have to worry as much about shelling out money at the first of the year.
Right. And you can also kind of knowing where they are at the end of this year, you can kind of help them prepare and put things in place. So maybe they don't owe as much money or, they get more money back or, however would be best for their business.
Yes, ideally for my philosophy is I want my clients to get their tax return down to not owing or receiving a refund, because that puts the most amount of money back in their pockets, which right now we all need for the increase in costs.
Right. Yeah. I mean, everybody wants to get money back, but at the same time, that means that the government's been using your money all year. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is an interest-free loan to the government,
Yeah.
and a lot
Yeah.
of people get trapped in thinking the refund is the bonus, and there's been plenty of um, talk about how bonuses trap employees into thinking they're always going to get it. And I think a lot of it's the same mentality with the refund.
Sure.
Um, on average, most Americans don't have $400 to pay for an emergency expense. So where does that go? It's on a credit card.
Right.
I'd rather go ahead and put more money into their pockets throughout the year and
Yeah.
help them with strategies to save than have a huge refund every single year.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Great. Is there anything else that people should know about like what a CPA does or, kind of what services you in particular provide to people?
So my primary focus is always on tax planning and preparation. There's a large list of what CPAs can do, from management accounting, which is helping with like cost accounting and cash flows. There's the bookkeeping aspect. There's audits. Primarily, what I focus on is tax planning and preparation uh, for my business. Maybe down the road, I'll expand some services, but right now the focus is on making sure people get the money they need.
Perfect. So then if they do need those bookkeeping services and stuff, you partner with other people for that.
Yep, I have two wonderful bookkeepers. I don't know if you're going to add me out or not, but Lorraine Buffard of Every Penny Bookkeeping, as well as Heather Stark of Stark Business Services. Those are two wonderful bookkeepers that I work with.
Yeah.
So I love working with them. They're wonderful. They do such a high quality work of job that I don't have to think twice about the product that I get from them.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I interviewed Heather as well. So she mentioned that she partners with you, and that's how we were connected. So
Yeah.
that works out great. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me. I really appreciate it. Jason Getman, CPA, and I am Tina VanDerwerker with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services.